by myself because the guy at this property was an asshole. The manager, oh my God, I hated him. I'll just see him and just get mad. I'm like, "Urgh." This is the story of the term from the Roota to the Toota and how it came to be. This is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions, and I'm going to tell you where the term from the Roota to the Toota came from. I've gotten this question several times. They're like, from the Roota to the Toota. You know, some people like it, some people think it's funny, but it was this unit that was the defining unit in my storage auction career. I was up in Ackworth, and I never go to Ackworth because it was like, it's a long way. So if you buy anything, you're looking at an hour to hour and a half up, 2-3 hours to load. I mean, it's an all-day affair, but there was nothing else really going on, and I had never been there before. So I go to the auction, and it's not a lot of people. It's not a lot of people, and it's hot as hell. It is like ridiculously hot. I mean, you're just standing there sweating with a pool of sweat just building up at the bottom of your back. And we're going, I mean, so like when you inhale, your lungs get hot. And there's only 4 of us. The first unit, I mean, mentally I was just like, I'm not doing this because it was a really messy unit. There was stuff scattered everywhere. There was a few good pieces here and there, but I was just like, if it's not something significant, I'm not doing this to myself. Because that's a long haul just for a little bit of stuff. Then, you know, one guy got it, then another unit popped up and they had some nice furniture but nothing else. And another guy got it. And all this stuff was going cheap. It was going really cheap. I mean, the first unit went for $10, the second unit went for $30. Then the third unit, now it was a little bit nicer. There was some auto parts that went for $100, and those guys got into it, and I didn't say a word. Then we get to the last unit, and the door goes up, and just stuff literally just starts falling out. There was this old, nasty, stank, you know, crock pot. Oh no, it's not a crock pot, but one of those really tall stainless steel pots. It falls out, and there's like a chunk of something. Like, it's just frozen. Like, I don't know what the heck it was. And it had a little bit of a smell, but it wasn't like a nasty smell. It was just like, that's peculiar. Then there was other stuff, and then a shoe came falling down and dropped and bounced up in the air and went down the side of the I guess the pathway, you know, the area between the units. And, you know, I'm just sitting there and I'm sweating and I'm looking and I can't even see all the way to the back of it. I don't even know how big it is. And it's in the middle of the property, so I really couldn't gauge how big it was. And I just kept looking at it. And you ever been in a position where you should do something, but, you know, the will is weak? You know, you're just going, because I'm looking at it like, that's a lot of stuff. That's worth coming back up again. And all I saw was just janky stuff. I mean, it was just literally, it was a man's unit, and stuff was just thrown in there. And I saw good stuff peeking out, and I was just like, God, I don't want to do this myself. And then it happened. This other person I don't even know that lives inside me started bidding. It's like $25. And I'm like, who did that? And, you know, there's like going once, going twice. Then everyone's like, I am not moving that stuff. It's too much work, man. It's too much work, you know? And I sat there and I said, God, this thing is full from the Roota to the Toota. And then everybody started laughing. I was like, well, that's yours, man. I put the lock down, and I didn't have my truck, and I wouldn't pay for it. And they gave me, and the lady said, it's a 10 by 30. I said, excuse me? She said, oh, I'm sorry, it's not 10 by 30. It's a 10 by 40. I was like, you're kidding. She said, nope. He's had that unit for years. There's no telling what's in there. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, and this was before the show Hoarders. And it's like, this guy's a pack rat. And pack rat units a lot of times can be very unprofitable because they collect stuff that's important to their own self-interest and no one else. I was like, I paid him $25, and she said, hey, I'll give you to the rest of the month to clean it out. And it was like early in the month. Back then, auctions used to be kind of clumped together here in Georgia. So the first of the month, there wasn't a lot going on. I was like, all right, cool. So I go back home, and I think about it, and I say, might as well just get this over with. So the next morning, I get up bright and early, but even before the traffic, because most places, and they gave me a gate code, and most places, the gate opens at 6. I was there with some of my Latino brothers at 5:45, waiting for that gate code to activate. 601 roll, put the code in, gate open, went back there, and it was still kind of dark. So we get there, and I brought totes and stuff because it was a ton of loose stuff. I brought totes, trash bags, and the three guys, we just started grabbing stuff. And oh my God, the first 10 feet was depressing as hell. It was a restaurant, but it was all those old pots with all the food that had been cooked on for centuries. Pull that stuff out, and a lot of stuff is going in a trash bag, and it's staying in the trash bag. And I just told my guys, hey, keep the trash over here because we'll just go by the dump before we get to the warehouse. So there was like trash bags building. At one point, trash bags were like 8 feet tall, and I was just like, oh God, I'm paying to haul off this trash. Then, it changed. Got past that first 10 feet, then it was like, whoa, mama. It was like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It was like two different units because I see shrink wrap furniture, and I'm like, what? Stuff in blankets wrapped up, and I'm like, bam! I pull back some wrap. It's like beautiful bedroom set, beautiful leather living room set, and it just kept getting bigger and better, bigger and better. So pull that stuff out, and I was like, okay, that goes to the far end of the truck. And we'll put that stuff up, and I got a 27-foot truck, and I'm sitting there like, this is probably gonna be 2 trips. So moving stuff in there, and it just comes out. A really nice washer and dryer set. Then this is, it starts getting really weird. I pull out a very nice tub, with the jets, like a jacuzzi tub, and it's like wrapped up, and it's still new, and it still got all the stuff, and it still has that new item smell. I was like, okay, damn. Then I pull out a kitchen sink. Then I pull out cabinets. Then I pull out some really nice mahogany kitchen cabinets, and I'm just like, how the hell is this gonna work? And we're just pulling that stuff out, and at that point, the truck is full. It is full. We got maybe a few feet to stack those trash bags. So I'll go ahead and shut the door, and then there's like another area where there's loose stuff, and I can't even tell. And this is only halfway full, and this is only half the unit that has been cleaned out. Half. Leave there. This is like about 10:30. So I miss traffic coming. Head to my little secret dump spot. Toss off those bags. Pay $25 dump fee. Then go to the warehouse and just drop that stuff. And it's like, let's just get this done today. Let's just get it done today because this is an incredible amount of stuff. Go in, go back up there. We start low. Then the second time, it's like it is so much easier because the stuff is bigger. And get in the back, and then, bam, I hit the mother load. He had very nice gun cabinets, with the glass fronts, but there were no guns in there. And I was like, damn. So pull out some more stuff. Now understand, we're at the 20-foot mark, and there's still another 20 feet. It's like 2 10 by 20s, really like 2 12 by 20s. I'm pulling stuff out, Then find like a nice go-kart. It looks like an Indy 500 car. Pull that stuff out and just go in. And right in the back is this beautiful Duncan Fife dining room set with 6 chairs in the cabin and everything. And then there's all this antique type furniture that's in excellent condition. It's like he had stuff from his workshop, his personal home, and apparently his parents' home. So we pull that stuff out and get to the back, and then stacked up to the wall are all these like military cases, totes and stuff. And I opened up one and I almost shit my pants because I pulled out a grenade, but it was a dummy grenade. But I didn't know it was a dummy grenade because I pulled it out. And I was like, and if you've ever been in the military, you just don't drop a grenade. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, the pin's still in it, And I turned it over and I saw the mark, and it was a dummy. And then there was all this military nomenclature, military manuals, survival type stuff, MREs. I was just like, this is crazy because this stuff was all in great condition, and that stuff sells on eBay. And I was just like, I was doing my little happy dance because I was just like, at first I was like depressed, but I'm like, $25 for this? So at that point, I'm like $25 in for the unit, $25 in for the dump fees. My Latino brothers, we were probably at the probably at the $120 mark. I paid them extra. That's how good I was feeling. Because when you get a good unit, you get generous. You like, hey, whatever, hey. Yeah, you know, $10 an hour. Well, hey, here's a little something extra for putting your Christmas stocking. Go in there. So getting out the totes, pulling out all the stuff, and then we find the guns. Oh my God. Nice Winchester, Browning, Weatherby. I'm just like beautiful guns all wrapped up in their, you know, in either nice cloth or gun cases. Pulled 25 rifles out of that unit. No pistols. Only rifles. The guys did not have, well, apparently he took the pistols with him, but 25 very nice rifles from like 30-06 to 22s to 10 gauge shotgun. I mean, it was just like crazy. And I was just like amazed at how much stuff he had in there that was great. And this was about, say, year number 2 in being in the business, because I had never bought a unit that big. Because for obvious reasons, it is a bitch to clean out. Regardless of the stuff is good or not, it takes a lot to clean a unit out like that. But I just bit the bullet and cleaned it. And I actually did not buy another unit that month. It took me the whole month to sell the majority of that stuff. That's all I was doing. Went back to, you know, after we loaded up and get everything, went back to the warehouse, and I just started and then just posted stuff on Craigslist because I was tired. I gotten up early. But when you smell money, ooh, you smell that money, it's like it gives you extra energy. So I'm on Craigslist. I'm putting stuff up on eBay. My partner's like doing this. I mean, we didn't leave, God, probably 2 o'clock in the morning. That unit made me $9,840 when it was all said and done. It was an incredible unit. And that's why when I said I love him from the Roota to the Toota, I was hooked ever since. Because I'm going to put this out there. Most people that you encounter in the storage auction game do not have the equipment, nor the space, nor the infrastructure to move a unit like that. That's why you see people, and just watch. Go to an auction, you'll see a 5x5, a 5x10, a 10x10 go for $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, and you'll see a 10x20 or a 10x30 that is packed go for almost the same price or even less, because people bid based on what they can move. Not how much money they have. There's a lot of folks out there that buy little units, and they have the money to buy the bigger units, but they don't have the help, the infrastructure. They don't have all that stuff. And instead of it being a great unit, it becomes an infernal pain in the ass because you've got all this stuff, and it's not exciting dealing with one unit, because you want to buy one unit, then buy another one, then move on. But I had the mental toughness to stick with it, and realized, probably took 2 months to sell everything, but realized a good $8,000 in 1 month, and that's all I did. That's it. That whole one unit. So I want you to understand that if you're going to get in this game, you got to put on your big boy drawers and your big girl panties, because many folks are trying to dip and dab and get rich or make excellent income off really small units consistently. Can you make good money on small units? Sure you can. Best unit I ever bought was a small unit, and I paid $1 for it. So it happens. But we're not talking about what I call exceptional events. When I got that unit with the safe, that was an exceptional event. It's not something that it never happened again. It was a one-time deal. Every unit that I bought after that was less in terms of money. And I will tell you, there's some stuff out there safe I didn't sell. So, it's still going to be the best all-time unit I ever bought. But that's the deal. You've got to think in terms of, this is a marathon. You're not just sprinting. You got that jog and you're in for the long haul, because if you're going to build a business, you need to get yourself positioned where you can handle the big stuff. That's where the money is, because you've got to be able to make money off that little bitty crappy unit. You have to be able to make money off the big unit. You got to develop all these skill sets, sales channels, and just be able to do this on a certain scale, because what's about to happen is the changing of the guard. Some of the older cats have figured it out, and they realize, because it's an old saying, big fish eats little fish. Another old saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. That is the reality of it. So if you want to kind of like get here and stay here now, if you're a hobbyist and you just do it for kicks, I'm not talking to you. But if you want to be in this full time and make some serious money, no, you got to up your game as well as up your business tools and strategy. Just letting you know. But that's the story of how from the Roota to the Toota came about, because it just blew my mind how much stuff could be in one unit. And it also desensitized me from, because buying a big unit is scary. It's very, very scary because you don't know what's in there. And like I said, there was stuff in that unit I could have not moved if I didn't have help. I learned that lesson, and I've gotten caught a few times. Go clean out a unit and there's a pool table in there assembled with the slate and everything, and I'm like, how the hell did they move this? And it's just going to happen. But this business makes you very, very innovative. You figure out new ways to load stuff. You figure out ways to move stuff by yourself that you couldn't do in your former life. You become like you become like MacGyver. You're out there figuring out stuff. You're taking drums and rolling stuff out. I moved this heavy, heavy oak table by myself because the guy at this property was an asshole. The manager, oh my God, I hated him. I'll just see him and just get mad. I'm like, "Urgh." I had to get this table out because it's like you get superhuman strength when you have to deal with an adverse situation. Big, heavy oak table. I mean, it's like just cut out of solid oak. And I could barely move the thing. It's like, there's no way I can lift it on a truck. And the guy, and people, as you know, if you're buying stuff, they have weird stuff in units. The guy had this big old drum. And I was like, huh. So I had enough strength to roll the table over on the drum, got on the drum, and I pushed the table, then kicked the drum, pushed the table, and kicked the drum, pushed the table, kicked the drum, and I had just enough height when I tilted it. I put it on the lip of the truck, I put some blankets on the floor of the truck, and then just went, got it up and pushed it in there and put it on the blanket, and it was just right there at the edge of the truck. And believe it, that sucker didn't move. I just kind of loosely put some stuff around it because I didn't have any ropes. That sucker didn't move. And we caught getting it out the truck, pulled up on the dock, lifted up an edge, put it on some dollies, put it on 4 dollies. 2 in the back, 2 in the front, and rolled that sucker in the warehouse. I'm telling you, you become very, very creative in this business because it forces you to do stuff you normally don't have to do. When you're put in a position where your back's against the wall, you're going to find out what you're made of. You're going to find out what kind of stuff that your family gave you in your DNA. And I'm telling you, based on a lot of people who are getting in the game and the letters I get and the folks in the group, there's a lot of folks who got that good stuff. Got the good shit in terms of DNA and family stock, and that's a good thing. But that's how the story came about, and because I get that question all the time, like from the Roota to the Toota, and that's it. All right, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions.